I've always been a lover of hip hop, and recently I noticed that my most listened to song on Spotify is Johnny P's Cardi by Benny the Butcher featuring J. Cole. And there was a verse in the song where J. Cole was rapping. He said, "Some see a glass as empty, and I see a glass filled with ether." That line struck me so deep, and as a result, today I titled my speech after it, "A Glass Filled with Ether." Before I go into explaining what this means to me and how it connects with what I'm about to say, let's first explore the meaning of ether. Ether was once believed to be an invisible substance that fills space, allowing light to travel. However, science later showed that light doesn't need ether to move. But why would a rapper reference to an outdated physics concept? And why does it matter to me? In my previous speech, I shared my obsession with becoming rich. And one of the things I got to realize is that truly wealthy people are always filled with gratitude. While I can't speak for all rich people, the ones I've been privileged to be with are always happy wherever they find themselves. They find contentment in the little things that they have. And as a result, they seem to attract abundance into their lives. On the other hand, people who are always not having gratitude, they're always filled with bitterness and regrets. They always try to complain, or they focus too much on what they lack rather than appreciating the little that they have. As a lover of public speaking, one of my biggest dreams is to attend a TED Talk, or possibly one day grace the stage myself. So a few weeks ago, I attended TEDx Maitama, and during the networking session, I met with someone and we were discussing about how it is very important for entrepreneurs to own their public speaking skills. I shared with him my journey as a Toastmaster, and he was intrigued. He mentioned that he has once attended a Toastmaster meeting before, and he is familiar with the format. We networked, we followed each other on Instagram, and he saw my video, my I Don't Care video, and he was like, "Bro, this video was on another level. It's as if you brought a gun to a knife fight." I laughed, and I told him, and I explained that I'm a filmmaker and I run a production company. So I made sure I brought in all my gadgets and made sure my video was well polished. He was impressed, but what he didn't know is that I always appreciate everything. That icebreaker speech was not just an icebreaker speech to me. It wasn't a beginner speech. It was a world-class challenge to me, and I made sure I did it with everything that I had. And what fueled that was gratitude. I've always learned over time to always be grateful, regardless of where I find myself, and as a result, it has become a habit to me. It reminds me, in the Bible, there's a story where Jesus Christ fed over 5,000 persons with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. Before he distributed the food, he gave thanks, and as a result, he was able to feed the crowd. This to tell you that gratitude is a multiplier. Regardless of how little you have something, gratitude is going to make it big beyond your expectation. Now returning to J. Cole's song when he was rapping, some see a glass as empty and I see a glass filled with ether. I believe J. Cole was talking about perspective. And what this means is that the way you view things whenever it is empty is an idea that's telling you that there's always more in it. So, what is the biggest takeaway? The way you view your world determines the way you get things from it. If you see everything as scarce, you get scarcity. Or if you see things as having potential, you definitely get potential. So, whenever you find yourself complaining or grumbling about something, you should pause, take your time, don't see your glass as empty, choose to see your glass filled with ether, potentials, and a lot of possibilities, and gratitude as well. Because if you do so, your little things will be multiplied, and abundance will be yours. Thank you.
Wow.